Experience of 2026 that we're stepping into right now.
Yeah.
So with that being said, yeah, this is Christopher and Daphne, and if anybody else shows up, they'll be here too, because we invited a few other people that may show up. If not, they can watch it on the replay.
Yes, they can.
So
It's
tell
something.
us where you are.
We are Glen Rose, Texas, Big Rock Park. And something I had forgotten until now. This water is extremely emerald green. I don't know if you can tell,
I can see it.
but it really is.
Beautiful.
I haven't seen that since the ponds back at the Rose Garden, let alone in a river. So that's just awesome to me. What I wanted to show everybody and bounce this off with you so that everybody can see we're coming into, I guess, this era that playing small or shrinking, that survival energy that got us here, that we're very grateful for, no longer serving us. Now, there's obviously people still in situations, by choice or not by choice, that are still in that. But we have chose different. So what we're trying to do, well, we're not trying, we are. And this is why we're here at Glen Rose, is I wanted to show, and we're going to paint a little picture, what I've been seeing since I got down here. So this is Country Woods Inn, this whole property, and they got all these places, right? All this wide open area. So I'm going to talk to these people once we finalize our plan. And there's parking. So this is at the end of the road. Down here, all the way down, it's Heritage Park. So it's this whole stretch, like wide open from like the wall to the river. Okay. And here is Big Rock Park. All this here, clear down. Around the bend down here, on the other side of that, I got a video. It's Glen Rose Retreat. It's a Christian retreat. I didn't know until I was looking at the map. It's actually full of little ponds and all this stuff, and it is designed as a summer retreat. They got a ton of buildings. I don't even know how many. And they have the property around the bend. So it's this whole section right through here. What I want to do is bring in the rose gardens, starting down there all the way down through here, for a few different reasons. One, the rose is the highest vibrational plant on this planet. Two, it signifies the remembrance. Three, the energy here is the same back in the rose garden, back at the Three Rivers. This is also encoded with memory. There's a lot of remembrance here. So the whole point is creating an environment for remembrance. And we can do that naturally with the energy that's already here. So in the summer, this place is packed, as you can imagine. It is packed all through here. People just walking. Because you could walk clear down this river.
What's the temperature there now? Today,
right now, it's
February 1st.
With the sun getting ready to go down, it's about 60.
Oh, nice. That's not too bad.
This coming week, we got a week of 70s coming. Let me see about getting down here. I'm gonna have to go this way. But the point of this is this energy is already naturally here. This is what we mean by physically reading the field, being able to pick up on these energetic spots. Because the axitonial lines, we can change those. We are celestial beings. We are guardians. We just happen to have forgotten that. This is how we can change the lines. Plus, they're shifting. But we have to do this with Gaia. I mean, look how shallow that is. You're talking a couple inches deep. So people's like partying in here. They literally will barbecue right in the middle of the river. It's like one of the craziest spots I've ever been in. It's over here. That last video I did.
So are they good at picking up their trash, I hope?
Yeah. They're real good about it. They stay on top of that. Another thing about this town is Granbury's are only got like 10,000 or so, but a lot of people are moving in. Glen Rose is even smaller, and it's all attached by the water. This is all limestone, every bit of it. It's all limestone. So where is it? Around. So around that big one, that's where I did the last video, and you can almost see it. There is. Let me see if I can zoom.
Is that where you put the crystals?
Yeah, I did a. I'm trying to see my camera view. It'll let me zoom in. It's not letting me. Anyway, there's a little hole you can see over that rock, and the rock behind it, there's a small cubby hole. That's where I put the amethyst with the structured water, the feathers, all that fun stuff. And it's gone because last I was here when I unpackaged the necklace you gave me, I checked it because you got to climb up in there to get to it. I thought it'd be safe for a little while, but it's all right. People see something like that, they're going to snatch it, which is fine because it's already been anchored in. That's also around that big, right behind that is where I initially anchored in the Camelot roses that we brought down. Now, what I want to do while I'm over here.
So the Camelot roses, are those the dried roses from the rose garden?
They were not even dry. I brought them down in a bowl of water, several of them.
Okay. So when you first got there.
Yeah, and put them there with the structured water and a few other things, and then got some pictures of it.
And so how long ago was that you got there? I'm trying to remember.
Right before Lionsgate.
So August.
Yeah, we gotta remember.
Beginning of August.
Yeah, it's not by the calendar on these things. It's by the event. But yeah, it was in August. And it's been ever since. So the intention is doing the whole rose garden all up and down here. And I need to talk to that church too, especially about that retreat all around in there because of the benefits. This is the business aspect of it. The economic benefits it will bring this small town, returning the roses to Glen Rose. They're going to go for it. I mean, it's nothing but a plus for everybody involved. But my purpose is not that. I mean, that's just a side effect. The purpose is to anchor this in, create that habitat. This is where I want to build our sanctuary at. Maybe even up there. I really like up there. But somewhere around here is where I want to build it. So we're going to finish that plan up. I need to talk to both owners, and we're going to package that together and get involved. This is what we mean by participation. This happens to be my part and what it took to get to this point is you wouldn't believe it if you hadn't lived it, you know. And I'm sure everybody's got that
Yeah.
moment. But I see it as a disservice to not do what I know I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, well, I think that's an interesting point right there, is that each of us are here to do certain things, and many of the people that will be watching this are the ones that are in the group of people that are ready to step into that more. I mean, we all know people that aren't, but
right.
It's this is kind of like a meeting and a coming together of people that are ready to step into their path, their visions, their way forward, and to, you know, reach out to Christopher and or me or whoever you know, whoever you resonate with, or both of us. And it's just time for us to come together and to work together in a way that when we do work together and we have structures set up, or networks of people, which that's a big part of Christopher's journey, is networking people together and creating community, but mostly through networking. But anyways, it just, when we are able to come together and support one another and have each other's backs, and you know, obviously we can do this energetically, and it's even more powerful doing it in person. So whether you do it with either of us in person or not, we're really encouraging you to take on the role in wherever you are, to be open to connecting with people and building some structures and some things, getting people to work together to create spaces where we are doing this in person now. We are the boots on the ground. We're the ones anchoring in what we came here to be, the presence, the energy, the experience.
It's embodiment.
You know, we've been doing it separately, alone, most of us, not to say that we haven't had times where we have come together with people, but there's just this mindset of duality and separation that we've been brought up in this world, and there's a new path forward, and that seems to be breaking down and changing. And you know, just pay attention to where you're focusing on. Are you focusing on the drama and everything breaking down? Or are you focusing on what I like to call solutions, like the word soul and then lution, solutions, and the way forward? Because that's a beautiful sunset. It's just so important that we recognize who we are, what we are, and that we're more powerful together than separate or being on the opposite side of things. That's just all part of the old way and the old system of distraction and suffering. And, you know, while we're all working stuff out within ourselves, we also need to recognize how we can come together more and who can we come together with. So if you're here, reach out to us. We'll probably be doing more meetings, more sharing. Yeah. And Christopher and I have been doing some grid work together for a while now, and I'm sure we'll continue it. So anybody that's interested in that, let us know. We're doing a little bit here today. Um,
Yeah, I'm going over here so I can get in the sun a little bit before it goes down. Um, a big part that you touched on, the importance of the networking. That's the community. So, like what I've done, there's the solutions business. We've been working on that. That's all lined up. That is the model for business going forward in the perspective of what it offers, products and services. So, and this is real solutions. You know, this is what actually makes a difference on this planet. No if and or buts. That's it. That's the criteria, and we know this because we utilize this. That's been part of this process is working on that, getting all that developed. With that, also through meeting everybody around here, there's been a lot of that. And this is something I highly recommend. There's an app called Nextdoor. I have met more people through that app than any other app there is. And I just punched in Granbury, and through getting tools, things I needed, just all kinds of stuff like that. People needing help, and then I knew people that had the ability to help them out because they had extra stuff. I've met just an incredible amount of people, and every one of them is open, and it reminds me of our nature. People are not inherently evil. People are not, out to, I guess, do harm to others, things like that on their own. They're just programmed to be that way in certain, situations such as survival, things like that. But this network that we're building, and we started with the water, that went to community gardens. There's a lot already here. It's just those people don't know how to put it together. This is what I'm for. This is what we're building. Um, there's more to it than that. Like we've developed our own AI that builds its own stuff per our parameters that we programmed it to. Basically, we went in. This is the funny part. We went into all the top ones that will create this stuff for you, got the code underneath all of that, and took every single feature from all of them that they were promoting and put it all in one go. And it's ours. We created it. So we're going to be utilizing that, especially with design, a lot of design, even with the plan for the rose gardens, the sanctuary. We're going to use it for all of that, as is our own co-creation. And that's what's great about that is it's just us that's responsible for it. But yet again, it's another service that we can offer people. But I cannot stress enough the importance of that networking. Even just to the point that I have it now, there's a lot of people ready to go. And not only ready to go, they've been waiting for ignition. And then my ass shows up from Indiana, which come to find out, there is not much difference between people from Indiana and people in Texas. It is the same mindset. They're a little bit more hillbilly down here, but other than that, it's pretty much the same people. But I've never been anywhere ever that was as positive of an energy, not only in the people, but in the land as here. And I'm doing my best to honor that because I know it's here that needs to be built. Yep, yep. Oh, I know where I'm going to put this. Okay. I see it now. That's very, very important. The other part is, and this is why I'm showing the video that I am, you do not have to be perfect. Just do something a little bit each day. Seal your field before you go to bed. Do it every day. Cleanse your space, your self care, every bit of it. Avoid the distractions. This is going to get a lot more hectic, but it's not for us because we stay centered. It is for a lot of other folks. And then those that pay attention to that noise, because that is a dying parasite, is what it is. That's all it is. It's not
Well,
nothing.
and to speak to that, it's like when those of us that can stay centered or not be overly stressed by what's going on, we're able to hold a place for others that are not maybe quite as lucky, or lucky is not a good word, but not as that might not be able to hold that. And we can be there to listen and to offer, if they're open to it. Well, I've been going through this spiritual journey. Yeah, that's a good spot.
Isn't that wild?
Through this spiritual journey, would you like to hear, what's going on for me? And then you can give them some guidance and hopefully kind of bring it back to, but yeah, you can't really help other people if you're not doing it for yourself first. So yourself is what's most important. Are you doing that self-care? Are you doing that what's needed? Are you doing things that bring you joy and expansion into your life? And if you're able to keep that space, then when people come in that need help, or you can see somebody that needs you, you're more open to it. And yeah.
Yeah, because you have that freed up space. That's key to it. I'm glad you said that. It's that love of self.
Because it's going to be needed, but sometimes you just have to hunker down on your own too, and
That's
and
true.
step away from that and recharge yourself before you can, but and you also don't want to be stepping into the drama. It's not about that at all.
Right. Yeah, it's not. I
It's
mean, to
about
me, it's
seeing
just,
it for what it is.
and then being able to realize things are different for everybody. We all have our different way, different issues that we're dealing with, things like that,
That's
different
such a
paths.
good point. Yeah.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about resonance. We're talking about building. We're talking about those that are taking their accountability, their self responsibility to their purpose. Because now, yes, going quiet, as majority of things are built in silence or come through in silence. But when we do that on purpose, with the neglect that occurs in a lot of situations, whether it be friends, relationships, whatever the case may be, could be work, to where you just check out. That is neglect. It is. And that's being honest with yourself. That's the real test, is are you able to hold this, be who you really are when you're tested? Now, initially, especially when I first got down here, it was almost immediate. And if not immediate, it'd be the next day. I'd be directly tested on whatever I had done prior to that. It's a stress test. It really is. That's just the way things work. It's going to happen. You can anticipate it, but it tests your resolve. This is what I mean by how much you can carry, how much you can hold, because you've proven to yourself that you can move forward despite obstacles, despite the situation, despite being scared. Everybody gets scared. but we don't live in fear. If you didn't get scared, then yeah, you might need to check your heart. Make sure you got a pulse. Because yeah. But that's the biggest thing. And are you showing up for yourself? You know, being mindful of that self abandonment as discernment turned into exactly that abandonment of yourself, of your purpose, that function, and the wisdom, and actually applying everything that we know. Because we've been studying this stuff for years, but how many people are actually applying it, or are they just still talking about it? And that's my main point. Is part of this video is just to show people this is how you can do your grid work. We know what's here. You know, the plan's going forward for here. It's anchored in, and it's only going to get exponentially stronger. It's just the way of it. We accepted that I see it as a vow. That's my purpose. Bring in that remembrance, create that habitat for that remembrance. And I'm slowly acquiring the tools to do so. I see it as the same thing, as just being a responsible steward for resources. This is why I have access to what I have access to. That's all it is. It is literally that simple. Ain't nobody special or none of that crap. I don't buy into that at all. Oh man. It's like, no, I'm not trying to hear you're a king of some crap. And it's like, oh, you are? Who told you that?
All right, what are we looking at here? Are you finding a spot? Are you finding your way?
I'm
Are you
getting
like
myself lost while finding my way.
expedition through the brush?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a little path.
Yeah, I
I
haven't been
thought
here
you were
yet.
gonna put it in that hole back there.
Well, that's like right up front.
Oh, you want it a little more secluded?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, ultimately, it's not much going to matter. It's just once it's anchored in, it doesn't matter. It's all good.
And you brought some water.
I have some soul water with me. Got some rose quartz, some pink Himalayan salt. Yep. And I got it from someone that's not here right now. Physically, anyway. Let's.
Yeah. when I did mine in LA, I was not this discerning. I just like, this is the perfect spot right here. But we know how LA is, right? I mean, you need something. You're not finding any like hidden nooks.
Right. Oh, I'm so excited for this stuff to get going, especially even the community gardens, just the experience. And that's the big part of it. People forget because everybody down here is going into their own homeschooling and the programs for that. And it's unschooling is what it is. And we very much are trying to spearhead that and provide that, those programs, the material, the information to be able to do that. You know, get their socks off, let them play in the mud, let them play in the water, let them learn, you know, naturally. We don't need to indoctrinate them. In fact, we're doing them a disservice when we send them to school. And that's the biggest thing about awareness. You can be aware all you want, but do you live that way? Are you embodying that? That's just a question we all have to ask ourselves. All right, I'm going with this spot right here because these trees are living. It's off the path a little bit. Yeah, go right here. So, that's another thing about around here. You cannot put a shovel in the ground without pulling up rose quartz. It's impossible. I tried. I tried. It is everywhere. I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it. All right, universe, you don't have to pound it upside my head. I got it. It is funny though. Those confirmations just are really silly sometimes. All right, do you want to bring us into the heart space? Let's bring it on up.
Okay.
Yes. In the meantime,
All right. So if you're watching this with us on the replay, you're still here with us. So let's everybody breathe into your heart space. You're going to breathe in I in your mind, and then you're going to breathe out am, and then just feel your connection into your heart space. So let's breathe in and then out. Let's do another one. Breathe in I and out am. And then one last time. Breathe in and then out. And that's a beautiful little heart.
I know I found that the other day. It's actually rose quartz. I was like, oh yeah, I'm using this. So these are from someone we know that's just not here right now. They may be in spirit, but I know they would definitely be down for this. So, or up for this, I should say. So we're gonna include those. I'm gonna put soul water on it.
So I'm just going to add in here anybody that's watching this, or Christopher or I, that anything that you want to filter or release into the earth, let's all put those intentions into this space to go ahead and clear our own energy to move forward in a way that's expanded, loving, and self-responsible, self-loving, and yeah, powerful. So let's go ahead and breathe into that. Another deep breath. Let's do 3 deep breaths. Connect into your higher heart space as we're doing this last breath. Let's just add a little love on top and into this grid work we're doing today. If you're doing it with us, not only are you helping with the grid work in Glen Rose, but also in the space that you are currently. So let's take another deep breath into that.
We seal this space as anchored in and out of time, all planes, all densities. And so it is.
So it is.
So let me see if I can remember where this is at. That's kind of this group of trees right here is gonna be kind of hard to miss. Where am I at from the entrance? Oh, I'm right in front of the drive. So I just need to come straight back. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Awesome.
This actually makes the third time. that look at that. I don't know who
Nice.
got that for me. That thing is, oh, I love this thing. I love it. It's my favorite. Which I do need to get some more pieces.
Yeah, that's a cool piece you got there.
I know. I don't know who gave me that, but it was awesome.
Yeah,
That's,
it was
let's see, I'll go this way. Yeah, I don't need to be on camera for this part. Y'all don't need to see me bust my ass. These rocks are freaking huge. I mean, they're the size of my truck.
yeah.
Yeah. Some of them you have to, like the one I put the halter on, you don't have a choice. You got to make that jump to get there. Um, what is that? I don't even look real. Huh. But here before too long, we'll be in a position I can have people down here. So currently, and again, I knew it was the right pivot to make. It makes sense as how this is just occurring. I was down at my buddy's where I initially came down to, and then I took on stewardship at this ranch, which of all the things we got to build, which is just perfect for me anyway, which is very anchoring to say the least for me right now. It's just preparing for what's coming. With that, in doing that, so after all this initial stuff is built, then we have to build the house. So I'm going to build a house on that land. There's a lady that helps them take care of the dogs. I don't know the whole whatever. I just know what's been offered, and that's the offer. So I'm going to be building my own little house.
Nice.
We'll see what happens with that, because this area and these plans may change all that. So I
Right.
have to take care of what I need to take care of there, which that's just an RV situation right now, which I don't have any problem with. But it's my own space. It's quiet. Everything's covered. Now I can start putting funds towards what we're trying to actually do. But it's just one step at a time. And it's interesting how it's getting exponentially larger from just doing the
Yeah.
work. And that's all it is, just doing the work. I had to claim that responsibility, because I'm going to tell you, it took me years to figure out, why is it? What's the truth behind it? Of why I have access to these groups, to this tech, to this information. Why? It doesn't make any sense. And then it dawned on me and said, hey, stupid, stop being stupid. Stop stepping on my own crank. Get out of my own way and just receive it and be responsible with it. And then all of a sudden it started flooding in. So I'm like, okay, now I just live it. I
Yeah.
have certain things I got to take care of.
Once you start showing up, it's about showing up. It's about taking the steps. And yeah, I definitely feel that
I just wanted to
coming
share everything.
for me in my life. I know we've been talking about this since you moved there, right?
Yeah.
It's I knew. I was like, wait, you're doing it first. I'm next. I knew it was coming. And yeah, it's sort of, once you create that opening for yourself and you're open to it, you just one step at a time, you keep stepping to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And next thing you know, everything's coming together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Claiming
don't
ultimate right.
attach to how it's going to come together. Just be open to it.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big one.
And you have to be ready to pivot and shift, because you have an idea and you think, oh, this is how it's going to go. The less you can attach to that and just have a vision, have a knowing, put the intention out, be open, things start to reorganize around you. They start to shift. And you and I have also been how things within yourself are shifting as well as you go. It's a huge growth pattern forward. It's an expansive, almost like things within yourself need to align. So in order for the outside to align, the inside needs to align to the things that you're envisioning or you're moving towards.
Exactly. You're not going to heal sitting still. That old going into hiding. Everybody's done it. Everybody's done it. It's
Yeah,
just not.
and that's
It's not the way.
necessary to a point. That's necessary to a point. But you also have to be open and, when you've done enough of that, be ready to not stay hidden. Now it's time to step out and do things and to be open and aware and just ready for when the situations come in that you just recognize it and you don't pass it up. You move in that direction. And sometimes you move in a direction that doesn't make sense in that moment, but it's really taking you to the next thing. It's like, I'm here right now, but the next thing is going to take me a step closer, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. And it's, yeah, I'm just excited to see how things have developed for you. And
It's
I'm
coming
ready.
to.
I'm ready.
Yeah, this is definitely the year for it. Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, anybody wants to reach out, we can hold that space. And a lot of times, that's all people need. I just did it for somebody I didn't really know from Florida. They're a flame bearer as well, and they knew it. They had quite a bit of trauma, and they're working through it. And I just held that space, and I said, this was something that because of doing that, it actually brought more out on my end. I've been getting really bombarded by the feminine the last week. And I finally realized at least part of it. I'm not going to act like I know all of it, at least enough that my brain can understand here and I can actually feel it why that's been happening because it's not separate. This was an agreement I made a few years ago, and it was remembering that. And now it's come not necessarily full circle, but it's come to test or check not only my boundaries, what am I going to let slide? What am I going to, I guess, allow not only in my field, but within my situations? Because you let a couple things slide, it snowballs real fast. And that's the thing about right now. It's going to happen to everybody. This is sourced now. This is not like it was before. The old method was you play by their rules, and yeah, you'll make it. You'll do very well. That's no longer that's no longer the case. This is why we're talking about coming out of hiding, expressing, using that fifth chakra, expressing yourself to your fullest capacity that you aren't necessarily comfortable doing. Because comfort is the death of growth. Now, it's not saying put yourself in a silly situation where things are reckless. No, it's not saying that. But it is saying take those steps that you are not comfortable with.
Well,
Hey,
and trust your intuitive knowing, because I definitely know that based on, people that are in my life that I connect with, multiple people, there's a knowing like we need to be possibly stepping away from technology more and being in person more, and um, ways to we still are living in the systems here, but also paying attention to how can I be moving out of the systems more, because it feels like that's the direction that some of us are going to be creating new ways of living that are more in person.
yeah,
So it's important that you're making connections around you and thinking about, the way forward with that possibility in mind, that we are most likely going to be wanting to be less um, reliant on the technology, and I mean, it's always going to be a tool, but the less you can use it, the better off you're going to be. um,
it's that
and I mean,
remember.
we know that there's these they want everything to go digital money wise, and no longer have that, but that's another form of the whole control. So you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into survival only through technology. Let's just put it that way. We need to be able to um, live and, flourish without technology. Can you do that right now? Are you moving in a direction where you can be doing that? Um,
Can we go a day without a phone?
yeah, if not, that's definitely a direction you should be focusing on, is using technology as your tool, not the other way around. Um,
But here's this part right here. This is where we can do a soft blend to help people. It's like, because a lot of things right now, it's not saying just jump in and do all this stuff at once. No, we're saying don't do that, but start weaning yourself off of this stuff, realizing that we're not meant to be reliant on these systems that they made us reliant on.
yeah,
This is their crap. However, their masters are no longer around. That AI is what's controlling them. They cannot rewrite the script because they didn't create it. So they're repeating the same script over and over and over. However, we're not, because we're not freaking AI.
yeah.
We're a
It's
biotech.
definitely, for me, it's a like, just to give examples of, like, maybe on a practical level, like I've been guided more into gardening and growing some of my own food, finding out where the local farms are, that
Yep.
are there communities that you can tap into where you could be providing a service to them and they can be providing a service to you. We want to be stepping possibly even out of the money system somewhat into more of a, a sharing um, way of living.
I can
That's
tell you
that's
right now,
part of the way forward in building communities that can self-sustain without, all this corporate structure that's basically here to control us. It's a stepping out of that a little bit into, like, how can I thrive more on my own and have things that I can share with other people, and then perhaps they can share a service with me, kind of thing.
that's what I've
That's
been doing also.
definitely, like, focusing less on, like, the whole, like, the system per se, but how are ways forward that we can tap back into the earth, connect with the earth, get out in nature more? What can I build? What can I grow? Um, how can I look into different energy sources for survival? Solar panels. I mean, there's directions that we should be thinking about, and even possibly having mobile ways of living. That's another possibility. But yeah, it's being ready to pivot and shift, and it's not bringing this up for people to be fearful. It's just a if you're interested in living an organic life, this is the direction you might want to be focusing on, as well as ways of detoxing your body. And also, what are you focusing on? You might want to be detoxing some of that as well. That a lot of that stuff that it's like you want to be in the world, but you don't want to be of it.
There you go. Nailed it. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of everything you just said. That's exactly what we do with the solutions business. We have all that.
Right. And well, that's why we're here to share
Yeah.
this with people, that this is part of the vision of the new way forward that Christopher and I have talked about, but I have talked about that with probably many of you that are watching this, and Christopher may have as well, plus other people that we talk to. Um, so it's just one of those, it's kind of time to start shifting in directions of self-reliance, self-love, and connecting with other like-minded people that are moving in that direction, because some of us have to be this structure that's setting things up so that people down the road have different options, because there are people that are going to get stuck in these systems, and they may have a way out, they may not, but we may be able to. I mean, obviously we want to do it for ourselves and for our children and their children's children, but also you're there's other people that are going to come along that we're going to be able to help. If somebody's setting up these structures, somebody's got to do it. And this is your call. That's us. If this resonates with you, you are one of us.
There's a bunch of us. And
There is.
I see it as we have to be able to care for our people. And who is our people? That's everybody. Everybody that resonates. And if they don't, that's fine. They have their choice. But at the same time, we have to ask ourselves, are we taking self accountability in being current and not keeping blinders on in what is happening? Whether it be a local community or nationally or around the world. Now, this isn't saying pay attention to all these things, but it's saying be aware of them and how it affects you and your loved ones in your community. So this is why we're bringing it in with solutions first. I come in this mug with solutions. I'm like, they're like, oh, what do you do? I do that. Bam, all of it.
Yeah. That's part of Christopher's structure and architecting here in this time, is his networking and building solutions. So it's yeah, it's fun and powerful to have watched the progression of this with you, Christopher, for sure. It really is.
I love it when I see it light up in other people's faces, especially when they need something. And I see a lot of that too, and where I can help them. And it's a big pain in the heart. This is where I had to learn a certain level of not necessarily detachment and not at all closing off my heart energy, that love of source, as an aspect of source for all living, all life. all of it, not just people. I had to learn how to deal with that. Let that flow through, feel it, face every bit of it. And that was a difficult one. And I still, especially like with animals now, little ones, it affects me more than what it ever has before. So I take it very, very seriously. It's somebody's got to do it, but not luckily. I just see it as this is what we're here for. I have found a lot of people that are the same way. They just don't have a voice. And a lot of them are women.
Yep.
A lot of them are really old guys that have, they just thought they go to work every day and that's life. Keep the woman happy as best they can. That's their deal. And I've met so many of them, it's not even funny. I'm just sitting there thinking, no, that's not the way of it. That's that's the distortion we had to deal with as being men, and women had their own that they had to deal with and what was expected of them. And it served its purpose at that time. It is no longer that time. We merge those aspects of us within, and it shows, and people respond. They don't know why. It's not our voices, it's not our looks, it's just a resonance of tone. This is what we know we're supposed to be doing. And it's challenging. Every day can be something. But that's how you know it's working. You face that hardship knowing exactly what it is. Pivot. It's just a chance to remember you have that strength. And then you do that a few times, you're unstoppable. And it's not in a controlling manner, it's in a manner of service. And there's no greater feeling at all. I mean, I could sit at the park and just watch people having a good time all day long. And that's the whole point of it. That's life. People thriving, people feeling good about themselves, that joy, that happiness, that love. That's why we are right now where I'm at, because this is the spot. I recognize this energy and we can amplify that. That's legacy. It's not money. It's we do this. This is going to be here for however long it's here. And we did it, and there's no taking that away from us. And that's just what it boils down to, I guess, for me. Helping people remember.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I feel like we should close. That said, thank you all. We love you and we really appreciate your energy and your time if you spent this with us. And we'll probably do another one of these soon. So I'm saying goodbye from my tent over here.
Yeah. tent of awesomeness.
Yes.
It'll be a perfect temple spot. I mean, that tent is the temple. There you go.
This is my temple tent. Thank you very much.
Yes. TNT.
All right. Until next time. See you guys later.
All right. Love you all.